This is a clip from our podcast From the Ground Up. We're on YouTube and Spotify, Apple Podcasts and all other podcasting platforms. I hope you enjoy it. If you like it, then make sure you check out the full episode. The link will be in the description. You've not got a figure in mind, you've not got a number of properties in mind, you've not got a number of mentor students in mind. There's just kind of a drive to keep progressing.
Yes, overall, I do definitely have numbers in which I want to earn a year. Through Property X for myself, I definitely have a number of not properties I want, but an income number from property that I would like, and I'm always driving towards those. And I think it's important to have those numerical goals, but it's for me, it's not putting a big, huge number on it, because one thing I've come to realise is that when you earn your first 10k month, when you do your first 100k in business, you suddenly think life's going to change. Like, I'm suddenly unlocked to the next level, but actually life doesn't change.
Yeah,
I still drive, and I need to get a better car. Actually, I still drive a shitty car, and I'm probably YouTube's worst property marketer. I should have a Lambo by now or something, but no, I think it doesn't change anything. So actually what you just need to realize is, what do you want out of life? What excites you, and chase that. I don't know do you think any different? How have you found it?
I agree. I think I took a bit of a detour getting there. I think when I got into property, the reason I got into it was this desire for a portfolio of houses that gave me a backbone of cash every month that enabled me to do what I wanted, where I wanted, with who I wanted. It's that financial freedom.
Mm-hmm.
And the more I got into it, the more I got around and heard people say, I'm going to be worth $1 billion, I'm going to be worth 100 mil, I'm going to be worth this, I'm going to be worth that. And I was like, oh, maybe I should want to do that. Do you know what I mean? There's almost it kind of rubbed off on me, and I was a bit like, yeah, I need to have those goals. And that's what pushed me to overstretch myself, overworking. And I remember sitting back one day, it was about 6 months ago, just thinking, why am I doing this? Why am I so exhausted? Why am I really overstretching myself, overworking myself, not giving myself any time off, not spending time with my wife, not just not enjoying life? And I think it's because I put other people's dreams in my place. I was like, I'm chasing someone else's dream here. If it was my dream, I'd have the drive to keep going. But I was just chasing somebody else's, and I've kind of come back to, over the past 6 months, just realigning myself with what are my values, what's my vision, and what's my purpose in life. And for me, I feel like it comes back to a portfolio of properties that gives me a backbone of capital that enables me to do whatever I want. Now, right now, whatever I want is sourcing deals, it's education, it's training people to do what I do, it's being around like-minded individuals, business people, entrepreneurship, and just really exploring that and investing into property. So that's what I enjoy doing. But the idea being, if I turn around tomorrow and just say, I actually just want to pack it all in and move to Mexico and just live there for a bit on the beach, I want to be able to just do that.
Yeah.
And that's the goal for me. That's the dream.
100%, yes.
I don't need that 100 million, like you say. So
I'm glad you said that. I was suddenly thinking, well, what if he says 100 million is his goal?
Yeah,
I've
got it written in my office, 100 million.
Yeah.
No.
It's talked about it for ages.
It's good to have financial goals and to have not necessarily even a figure in mind, but an idea of what you want to achieve, because it helps you work back from there as well. If I want to make 20 grand a month in passive income, then I know that I need to get this many properties. Right, if I want to get this many properties, I know that I need to have this much capital to do that. Right, if I want to get this much capital, I need to source this many properties. I need to flip this many houses. And do you know what I mean? It gives you metrics to work on.
Yes, agreed massively on that.
But it's what that goal is. I don't need, like you say, I don't need the astronomical number of where I just need to grind myself down to build $1 billion business. I don't need that.
Yeah, and I thought exactly the same. That's why I say it. I don't say it because I don't think people should aim high. I just think that if I sat there with 10 or 20 million, which I believe I'll probably get to in my lifetime, if I sat there with 10 or 20 million at the age of 50 or 60, would I feel dramatically different if I had 100 million?
Yeah.
Personally, probably not. The people that set those goals, to say I'm not dogging them out. I think they're very great. They're ambitious to go after it. I just don't think, unless you want the private plane or or the yacht, I don't think the life is ultimately much different between 20 and 100 million. Maybe at 20 million I might say differently, but maybe I've got to get there first and then understand.
See how it feels.
Yeah.
It is interesting though, because I think it's just a number on a screen. What do I sit back and I think, okay, what do I actually want to do with my life and what do I want to achieve? I'm speaking to good friend of mine, Nick. I've spoken to you about him before. He's a lot of his friends around him are still having to work another 10, 15 years before they can retire. He's thinking, what if I went into semi-retirement? And we were talking about this, having this conversation of, if you earn 25 grand a month, you're making 300 grand a year. You can have a really nice house in the UK. You could go and buy a second property in Dubai or the Caribbean, or a lovely holiday home. You could go on holidays every month. You could drive a really expensive car. You can actually live an incredible life.
Yeah.
And so if you go, right, okay, no, but I want to be making $1 million a year. Okay. But why? Do you know what I mean? What car would you drive that's that much better? What house would you have? If you had a £5-10 million house, do you really, what more would you need? Even if you had £1 million house, do you know what I mean? It's one of those where actually I feel like you get to a certain threshold and then it just comes down to what you're passionate about. If you could make 25 grand a month, anything above that, in my opinion, just will not make enough of a difference in my life.
Yeah.
That I would think it's worth sacrificing more years, more effort, more money in order to get from 25k a month to 50k a month, because I don't think my life would look any different.
And I think that's why it's important we say it, because that's still a massive achievement in itself to hit 25k a month for the majority of people, and therefore it's not to say don't have massive ambition. It's to just set a reason as to why you're doing that, because it will become ultimately so much more achievable, won't it? If you've actually got a reason, got a figure, and then you also know at what point to call it quits as well.
So, okay, I haven't spoken about this.
Yeah.
If I give you 10 million today for property X, you wake up to, well, firstly, would you take it?
Would I take? Oh, jeez, would I take 10 mil?
Yeah.
I mean, most
to pack it in, and that's it.
I mean, the business valuation isn't 10 mil currently, so I probably would have to take it.
Okay. Let's say you've worked it up,
right,
and it's worth 10 mil.
Yeah.
Would you cash out at 10 mil?
Yes, really tough one. I probably would, and that is because going back to what you've just said, my life really, the way I want to see it over the remainder of it, not necessarily imminently, but within the next 5 years, I want to build up to a place in which, I could go and live majority of the year in other countries. Maybe have a base in the UK, but also spend a couple of months there, a couple of months there. And for me, the ideal lifestyle isn't not working and sitting on a beach. I think most people come to the realization that that just doesn't work mentally for a lot of people. But it's actually doing, 9 till 12 on something you enjoy, and then having the flexibility. It's not having to do 9 till 5 every day, honestly. So for me, it'd be, remote lifestyle, going to multiple countries, per year and living in each one for set amounts of time, still getting up and work in the morning, but on something which I'm ultimately passionate about, which is property still. But it would probably be, work 9 till 12 on investing the majority of that 10 million back into property, probably. Yeah. I think I would, even if I did sell, which I love property X, so it's very difficult to be able to go, I'd sell it like that, because I think, but but then logic kicks in, and actually I think I would, but
Yeah.
I'd be full circle straight away. I'd be right. Where do I take this 10 million and put it back into property?
Yeah.
So nothing really changes for me.
So if you sold it, if it was worth 10 million, you'd sell it, and then tomorrow you'd wake up and you'd go, right, let's buy some more houses, and you build up a portfolio of properties.
You just buy more than
and then what?
Well, because is in to
travel.
To be able to to travel, but to be able to still do what I enjoy doing, which is property. So that's what I'm trying to say is that 10 million would just buy me a bit more flexibility. That's an incredible amount of money in comparison to where I am currently. I'm absolutely nowhere near that.
Yeah.
So then to be able to do, take that amount of money would be life changing, but I would just ultimately try to make a job in property out of that. I know what I'm like. So, it does make a huge difference to me, and it doesn't, because I'd just be doing the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But less hours maybe.
I hope you're enjoying the podcast so far. If you are, then make sure that you click the subscribe button and the bell notification so you don't miss any uploads. It would mean so much to me personally, and also really help us out as a channel.